Hello. So today we're going to look into the project that is based on the CPS defense system. So idea behind this is that we trying to cover the safety aspect of soldier. Let's say if the person is at some remote location, so we have to detect some of the sensors based on the data that we're going to have. So we're going to process that and say whether the um, certain persons who is beyond our limit, so they need any support, for example, and so based on that we should have some kind of backup, so either to assist the person, or based on the data, how do we actually react. So it's basically what we need to achieve. So here, and here what I'm trying to say is that what we're trying to bring up here is that, so we have the Arduino sensors. So based on the sensors, the Arduino has to transfer the data to the Raspberry, and the Raspberry is going to process the data. So here we have the Arduino which is programmed here. So ideally you have to think of this as an movable object, for example. So right now we are trying to execute from so it's not something we have done it something kind of exhaustive at the field work or something. So we can assume that it's a movable object. If that is the case, what are the things we going to consider, and based on that how the Raspberry is going to process the data that we have, and based on that the buzzer has to be detected. And so this is how the flow is actually. So and what we try to do is that so here we have the IR sensors, and the sensors totally we have 4 sensors. So IR and the PIR and the ultrasonic and the temperature. So ideally it has to, so here we trying to bring up only based on this with the limited scope that we have. So you could see the data that we've been programming here. So for example, so you can see, so let me try to show here. So you could see there is a transactions are being received based on the data that we have in the PIR and IR and the humidity and the ultrasonic. Okay, so this has been transferred to the Raspberry, as I mentioned. So because this is going to be somewhere, ideally so the plan was to consider the LoRa here. So due to some transaction to receive acknowledgement, the data respond back has been not seen, so we see some issue. So ideally it has to be there, but since we wanted to first assume that bring up this scenarios, so we try to push it from LoRa to the Wi-Fi, so to achieve first what are the transactions that we going to do, and process it back and respond it back. So ideally it is the expectations that we trying to achieve. So yeah, so here you could see so the IR, so you could see it's and so PIR also you could see the changes will happen. So you should be able to see the alert, and so ideally it's like, so you can see sometimes, so because right now it is not any activations happening. So you could see, so now I have done something, so motion has been done, there is a direction happened, so it is changed to direction. So similarly PIR proximity is something you could see it is also getting changed. So after that, so this is what we were trying to achieve.